Could you please take a minute or two to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Yushu Joe. Right now, I'm in Detroit, Michigan, but I've been in the US for probably almost 13 years. So I started my career in the casino gaming management, worked for the hotel industry about 5 years, ranging from operation investment, and then came to the US to expand my career opportunity. And later, I got the opportunity to go to MBA. So I'm very fortunate to get MBA from Harvard. And the 2 years really changed a lot of perspective on me. So after my MBA, I decided to switch from hotel to senior living. And since then, I've been working in the senior living industry for the past 9 years. I really love the industry. I'm really passionate about the industry. I think the global aging is a very true topic that for everybody. So that's why I want to really trying to contribute to this industry, and hopefully, right, the parents like ours or grandparents can really have very good place to retire. And then with all this aging population, right, the supply demand dynamics, you will see a huge demand for this industry. And unfortunately, the current industry is still not as advanced as what we want it to be. So really glad to be in this industry, and I'm also very glad to see more and more talented young people wants to move to in this industry.
Yeah. I think it's commendable that you have achieved so much at your age. I believe many people would be pretty curious about the life experiences that have led you to your current position. Could you share some of your life experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say my whole life journey, I'm always a person that I'm not very um, status satisfied with my status quo. So meaning that whenever I get into a play that I feel very comfortable, I want to make a change. And sometimes people don't understand that. They say, well, you have a lot of things we dream about. Why you want to do things differently? But I think that's based on my nature. I want to try new things. I want to be innovative. So give you example, I actually graduated from University of Macau, major in gaming management back, oh my gosh, 2006. That's almost 17 years ago. So at that time, as you know, the gaming industry casino is booming, right? It's a lot of activities going on. And I really enjoy the industry. I learned a lot. I met a lot of new people. And however, after working in the industry there for about 4 years, I just really feel that I can see myself in the next 10, 20 years. I can see myself, right, maybe advance to the corporate ladder in the casino industry and still very happy life, right, with my life in Macau. But I want to make sure that life is so short, how I can really maximize my life experience. So that's why the financial crisis happened back, 2009. I decided to come to the US without knowing anybody. I still remember I came here with two suitcases in the LaGuardia airport. Don't really know anybody. At that time, I went to Cornell University. I heard, well, it's in New York City. Right? It's in New York. So I was like, oh, I'm going to New York City. But people say, oh, Cornell is actually in far, far right north of New York State, Ithaca. So I would say just, by knowing nobody, start my journey, everything starting from scratch again, really scary. But I think just by trying new things, really accumulating the life experience, it's just so fascinating to me. And I want to live my life to its fullest, so I do not regret when I'm going to, pass away one day.
Is there something that you still find amazing that you were able to accomplish until now?
Or is there any pivot moment in my life? I would say before I probably would say, okay, I went to Harvard, went to HBS, I spent 2 years, right, with almost 2,000 amazing people because we have, almost 900 students every year. So 2 years, almost 2,000 people. And we have professors, right, wonderful, talented professors. from all over the world. We have all the resources we need. I definitely learned a lot from them. And I also think during those 2 years, the biggest lesson I learned is actually trying to understand ourselves, right? Trying to really think about what really matters to us most, what's the priorities in my life, and what do I really want to do. So that's why I have this pivot moment, because before HBS, I would say in my essay, I wrote my career goal is to go back to China one day, trying to help China to establish this five-star high quality by hotel brand to change the world perspective of things made in China is not good quality. I really want to change people's perception. I really want to do that. However, after 2 years, I would say really changed my perspective a little bit. Let me explain a little bit why. Because I love the hotel industry. I think the major reason because I like serving people, right? By welcoming guests to the hotel, by giving them very good memory that they can cherish for the rest of life, I feel very meaningful, right? However, when I look at, okay, is this what social value I can add to this industry? Is this really something I want to do for the rest of my life? I think after 2 years thinking, the answer is no. So I want to still do the service industry, but also start to adding more social value to that. And that's how I found the senior living industry, which I'm very happy to do for the past 9 years. So back to the topic, the biggest lesson I learned is definitely those 2 years to try to reflect on ourselves, keep asking ourselves, what do I really want to do? What kind of legacy I want to leave to the world? However, let's say after I step out of HBS, the past 9 years, right, you're kind of back to reality, right? You have your daily life, you have your work, you have a job. It's very different from the school bubble, right? At school, you're like, we say in the bubble, right? Everything very ideal. So I would say then, if I look for the past few years, the biggest lesson I learned is trying to be more grounded, right? Trying to be more patient and understand that it's good to have a goal, have a dream, but we don't have to go there very fast. I would say the first few years after school, I tried to work very, very fast, on a 100-mile train every day. I want to do the biggest thing, want to have the best achievement. But then I would say since COVID, especially I had my family, right? I had my baby boy, you start thinking more differently about life. Work is important, but sometimes, right, your loved ones, spend time with them, also very important. So I would say now, if you ask me, I still pursue my passion, but I'm just more mindful, right, to be more grounded and to trying to spend time with my loved one too.
You're sharing, it's truly wonderful. I know that you were like doing some sport.
So it probably went back to my childhood. I would say before I was 6 years old, I was very sick. I was a very sick, small little girl. I remember almost every month, my parents would take me to hospital because I was sick. I either got a fever or something else. So there's one time, I think my mom, she knew somebody teaching tennis in my hometown. So they said, well, Yushu, we just want you to try, right, to learn at least to make you stronger. So I started playing tennis when I probably was about 7 years old. I would say did not really thinking about trying to go professional or anything, but slowly by playing the sports, make me definitely more independent, more persistent. And also I start to discover my inner competitiveness, that if I try to play any games, I wanted to win. I want to beat everybody. So then I played tennis probably for about 6, 7 years until like in middle high school. But then you turn to a point that you need to make a decision, right? Do I want to keep playing that or professionally, or maybe just as a hobby? And later, by talking internally with the family, we decide to choose the latter, right? Just as a hobby, but then still playing that. But also during that tennis period, I was doing long distance running as well. So 800 meters, or probably not that long distance, but then also trying to run, right, to work out is becoming part of my gene that I want to do that. The funny story is that both my parents, they are kind of artists. So they wanted me to start playing piano, violin, right, dancing, but I was not good at any of them. So they always still joking today, well, both of your parents are artists, but you choose to go to the sports route. I'm very glad I did that. And I would say one thing, as I really learned from the sports, is just you never give up, right? No
Yeah.
matter what happens, you just need to keep going on, right, and finish. One thing I did not really learn from the sports, what a lot of other people say, teamwork. Well, for me, that I don't like playing double. I always enjoy playing singles. I didn't really learn about teamwork. But I would say that there's one funny story is that when I start to interview in the job, right, a lot of people will always ask me, oh, what's your biggest weakness? What's your biggest weakness? So I used to give the answer, well, my biggest weakness is very competitive. I always wanted to win. So for me, it's always win or lose. I do not have the win-win situation mindset. So then I would say as time goes by, I start to learn that it's not about either you win or lose. Sometimes where you can find a common ground and create a win-win situation. So that's also a pivot in my life that, okay, you can be competitive, right? You can be the number one. For example, so in the senior living industry, there's a lot of competitors, right? In there, you can be the number one, you can beat everybody. But I always try to think like, okay, instead of let's say slicing the pie differently, can we all work together to make the pie bigger so everybody, right, can share more? I say that mindset kind of I learned from the sport, but also combined with more and more working experience, made me realize, right, how to find a win-win situation for people.